Hey everyone, I'm so excited for you to check out Magic School. I promise you're going to get to your chosen learning style in just a moment, but I wanted to make sure you had a few of the basics before you got started. Important things like how to log in, otherwise this can be really pointless. So bear with me for just a few minutes while we get through some basic information, get you logged in, and then you'll have a chance to move on to your preferred learning style. So Magic School is a generative AI platform. That means it creates materials, it generates ideas. It is one that is able to give you things very similar to kind of how like ChatGPT is able to do. When thinking about what is Magic School has a lot of different tools and it has a big variety. So Magic School has a generative AI platform, and then they made it so that there's individual tools to help really scaffold and help us ask the right things. One of the hardest things when working with AI is knowing exactly what to ask. So Magic School has created 60 tools, over 60, and they're constantly adding, to be able to help us create materials using that generative AI. You can see a few that are on your screen here now, and there's a lot more. Again, they are constantly adding more, so if you have something of interest, definitely put it into their support area. They actually read that and think about our feedback. So I'm going to move myself out of the way, there we go. How can Magic School help teachers, not just teachers, but all of our staff? The first thing is it can actually create instructional materials. It's able to come up with lesson plans, rubrics. It takes all of the collective knowledge that it's been given and be able to perform that and get that into something that you can then take and modify. It allows things, and one of the tools is to be able to help with differentiation. We get that lesson done, everything's great, but then you have to come up with all the scaffolding for students. This is something that's able to help you with that. It has ability to write emails and newsletters, something to help you be able to communicate quickly. And it can always generate original content, so that's really cool as well. As we are using this tool, there are some things to keep in mind. I mentioned during my presentation this morning about AI having some bias and not being perfect. It is still a machine. It is imperfect, just as humans are. So there are some things we really need to keep in mind when working with AI. The first one of these is to check for bias and accuracy. There are things constantly changing, things that might have been rediscovered. I constantly always want to go to the example of Pluto being a planet. Now, of course, Magic School knows Pluto is no longer a planet. Sad, poor Pluto. Anyways, but it does change, and it's only as accurate as the information it's been given. So you are still the keeper of the knowledge, making sure that the information you're passing on is accurate. The next one is the 80-20 approach. I really like how Magic School has this. I've actually stolen this and put it in a few different areas. It's the idea that that Magic School is going to do the upfront work, that 80%, kind of do that big load, that big lift, and then you are going to come in and do that last 20%, that checking the information, finishing touches. It's as if you have that teacher's assistant just following you everywhere, helping you out. The next one is your judgment matters. Teaching and all of our jobs are all about humans, and you are in your role for that reason. So it's really important that you look at that material and think, is this appropriate for my class? Is this how I want to convey that? And then modify as needed. I've kind of hit on the next one, but just to remind you, know the limits of the tool. It is only as up to date as its most recent training session. I know that sounds a little odd that it has a training session, but that's what they do with generative AI, is they have to give it more information. So it's only as up to date as whenever it was last updated. So if it's something that occurred in the last week or two, it may not have that information yet. Last one, very important, protect our student privacy. We never want to put any of our student information into there. I really can't think of a reason with any of the tools why you would be anyhow. It's one of those disclaimers we just include though, because we want to protect our student privacy. So names, addresses, don't tell it to Magic School. It doesn't need it. We don't want to give it that. All right. Moving on to getting started. I promised it was going to be fairly quick to get through the beginning part and then actually get you into Magic School. So I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to sign up, and then get you set into the tour function. And I apologize, I know my Philly accent comes through on that word. I will never say the word tour correctly. I tried my best. But it will walk you through a tour that will then help when either if you're going on to the webinar version of this or the recorded version, or if you were doing independent learning. So the first thing we need to do is actually get you signed in. There are two ways that you can easily get to the link. The first is I put it in your agenda. It's right at the top there, so you can see the Magic School link in your agenda. You can click on that and that will take you where you need to go. The other one is on the Clever page. That has just become visible today and it's only visible to staff. I promise students are not allowed on Magic School. They are currently blocked. You don't need to worry. But staff and teacher staff, have the access on Clever to click on that link and immediately get signed in. If you do go through the link to Magic School, you are going to want to make sure you sign in with Google, okay? Google's everything. We know this, so just sign in with Google. And once you get to that, so you're going to click either on the link in your agenda or go to the Clever page, sign in with Google, always what we do. And then it's going to open up a page that looks like this. Pretty familiar for any time you've created an account. It's going to ask you just some basic profile information. So your name, you can see I'm using a test teacher here, your role. That allows it to hopefully give you a bit more customization. It's asking what grades you teach. You can select multiple, what subjects. I don't even know what I'm clicking, but I'm clicking things. Your school, so I'm just gonna put our elementary. Not that that made any sense, and apparently elementary is a difficult word for me to spell. I'm not sure why I chose to go that route. Okay, so I put my school in. Milwaukee and Wisconsin is our state provenance. So once you've done all of that, you've entered in all your information, you click Save Profile, and then it's going to walk you through. So this is the first page of the tour. It's going through those slides that I gave you just a little bit. So their current AI knowledge stops at 2021. So that's very important. Right now, theirs is a little further back. So if you're doing this, you want to be careful looking for what exactly is up to date. They are looking to update it, but the training sessions, it takes a lot to get the proper information to avoid adding in bias. There's a lot they do to kind of protect their tool. So that's why it is still working off of the 2021. So just a quick reminder on those, and you'll click Let's Get Started. Then it's going to walk you through a basic tour just to help you click through a few tools and check it out. So you want to make sure that you've gone to your agenda or to Clever, got logged in to Magic School using Google, and then once you're there, you fill in your profile and it will immediately take you through this tour. Don't worry, that is the very quick one just to give you a very big overview of what Magic School is, and then you'll be able to hop into your learning style. So I do ask that before you go to your learning style, you click through that tour very quickly if you really want, but I do think it's helpful to read through. And then you can move on in your individual link in your agenda to either the recorded video or the independent learning. I hope you really enjoy Magic School and you find it as useful as I do. Thank you.